Whoa, Rams fans, we've got a shocker this Monday evening as Vita Vea has requested a trade from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And according to sources, the Rams could be major players in the discussion. We're going to break it down on today's episode of the Rams Report presented by Prize Picks. But before we get into it, guys, I got to let y'all know, don't miss this news. Only 30% of our viewers, according to YouTube, are subscribed, which means 70% of you guys watching this video could be at risk of missing Rams news, especially if it was a huge trade like a move for Vita Vea. Don't be in that 70%. Don't be missing Rams news. Hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell on the Rams Report today and stay locked in on all the updates you need, just like this one, which is coming at us just an hour ago, not even an hour ago. Vita Vea has requested a trade from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm sure just about everybody listening to this video is familiar with the defensive tackle from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the absolute superstar who's been rolling since 2018, first-round pick in that draft, and he's just had so much success. Plug in the middle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously got a Super Bowl win with Tom Brady. He has had an incredible career and is definitely a Bucs legend, but apparently it's becoming a contract issue for a Tampa Bay team that seems kind of headed towards a soft reset. Obviously, we saw them let Mike Evans go in free agency this offseason. He ends up being a San Francisco 49er. It seems like they're trending in the same direction with Vita Vea, except they might want to get a return this time. According to Jeremy Fowler, this is a contract dispute. He is a 2027 free agent. We'll talk about the exact details of his contract later on today's video. But according to Fowler, extension talks have gone nowhere, which is where this trade request comes from. He said he would be surprised if Vea participates fully in camp as a result, but that's TBD. I don't know if that's just with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or if he was to be traded during the camp process, that he would then not be able to participate in camp with his new team because he would also be holding out for an extension there, but remains to be seen. But why do you ask, or why you might be asking, do I think the Rams are major players in this discussion? Well, that comes from a source, Ted Wynn. He tweeted this out. He says, from a source, he wants to go to a California team or the Raiders. Hey, guys, we're in California. So that buckets us in the group of potential Vita Vea landing spots. Very, very interesting. With Les Snead at the helm, I don't think you can ever count the Rams out of trade discussions when star players are potentially getting moved. He's shown himself time and time again to be willing to get involved. He doesn't always do it, but when there's an opportunity that he thinks can benefit this team, he said this before, he's always looking to make moves that upgrade this roster. Is Vita Vea the next big Rams trade? We're going to break it down on the back half of today's show. The pros, the cons, the contract details and implications, and what this means for Aaron Donald, who connects himself to just about everything Rams related these days. But before we do all that, I've got to give a shout out to the good people over at Prize Picks who are presenting today's video and everything Chat Sports. Guys, if you've ever watched the Rams Report before, I know you know all about Prize Picks, but if you're new around here, it's time to cash in on your ball knowledge, my friend, with America's #1 sports picks app. The best place to win cash while you're watching sports. Prize Picks. Guys, the app is super easy to use. All you have to do is pick more or less on a few player stats, and you're locking in your daily fantasy lineup. And with the social feeds feature, you can easily share Prize Picks with your buddies or copy lineups from your favorite creators or your friends with just one click. Guys, that includes me. I'm on Prize Picks. My username is Jackson Durham, just my first and last name. And you guys can see all of the lineups that I've been putting together. I'm putting them together all the time, to be honest with you guys. And you can tail them. You can fade them, whatever you want to do. Just do it with our friends over at Prize Picks, which is available in most states, including California, Florida, and Texas. Join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 sports picks app today. New user offer is also a new offer, guys. Play your first $5 and get $150 in lineups if you win. Just use code HMA when you sign up. That's right. Prize Picks just switched up their offer, so there's no better time to join, lock in, and win that first lineup. That's code HMA at sign up to get $150 in bonus lineups if you win your first $5 lineup. Thank you to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's video. As always, we appreciate them. Let's talk Vita Vea. Because I will say, obviously, you know him, you love him. How could you not? He's a lovable guy, even though he's not a Ram. But he is probably coming off of the worst season he's had in a while. Still very good. You look at that 2025 stat line compared to 2024, where obviously those are elite numbers in 2024, and a little bit of a step back in 2025, but still very productive. At the end of the day, you would still be bringing in one of the league's premier run defenders, one of the league's premier interior pass rushers, which has always baffled me considering how enormous this guy is, that he is still able to be a consistent, regular threat in the pass rush. Like, again, it is truly baffling considering his size, considering the enormity of this man, that he can still get after the quarterback. And I think at the end of the day, defensive tackle, the interior of this defensive line, even if you're not looking at Aaron Donald in the group, is one of the stronger parts of this Rams rotation. I truly feel that way. But Vita Vea is Vita Vea. He would still be an upgrade. He would still be a massive boon for this team. Again, Kobie Turner is still going to get his reps. If Aaron came back, he would still be getting significant snaps. But there's never been a better interior defensive line rotation in NFL history if you have those three guys. And there's truly just never been a defensive line anywhere near as good as what we could potentially put together. Imagine that front. Imagine a five-man front, if you will, for a second here, that consists of Myles Garrett, Kobie Turner, Aaron Donald, Vita Vea, and Byron Young. Five-men front. Good luck. Like, what offensive line in the entire NFL could possibly block that five-man front? And that's before you even consider that Chris Shula's scheming it up. So it's not just going to be straight up rush. You know you're going to have some stunts. You know you're going to have some twists. You know you're going to have complicated things for these offensive linemen to pick up that even if you weren't dealing with, again, the best five-man rush that's ever been put together in NFL history, it would already be hard. Like, my God, it's just not even fair. Like, it really isn't. It truly would be. Jacoby Brissett's about to ask the Cardinals for another $15 million if we make this trade, because there's no way he is playing for the current deal that he is and facing the Rams twice this season with the Cardinals' offensive line in front of him and that defensive line. I promise you the holdout begins again if this trade gets made. But just because it would be fun to mess with the Cardinals and make their quarterback go back into holdout mode, or at least just scare the pants off of him, does that mean we should do this? Does that mean we should jump in on a trade like this? Well, I think you got to start with the contract element of this. So again, why is Vita wanting to be traded? It comes down to the Bucs not really wanting to extend his contract. And if you look at the numbers that he's currently dealing with, it makes sense why he wants an extension. He's got 1 year left on his deal, of which there's $17 million in cash on that, but it's all salary. So he's going to have to collect that week to week throughout the season. And I know most of us would be very happy collecting $17 million on a week-to-week basis, but guaranteed money is a very big part of your security at the NFL level, and he has a big old $0 left in guaranteed money. So again, like, he's going to want that if this trade was to occur. And that goes back to what Jeremy Fowler tweeted out initially. He said, would be surprised if Vea participates fully in camp as a result, but that's TBD. Even if he lands with a new team, I don't know if he's not going to hold out on you if you don't give him a new deal. And that comes to another question, which with this Rams cap, where it is right now, you've got, after Ty Simpson's on the books, about $12 million left in cap. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but I believe it's right about 12 million because he had 16 million before that. So can this be done without excluding the possibility of Aaron Donald? And the answer is yes, technically, but it gets sticky in a hurry, right? And do you want it to get that sticky? Aaron Donald, if you don't remember, is owed $30 million on the current contract that he's on. Remember, there was some confusion about this situation. People had questions about, is Aaron Donald still under contract with the Rams? I don't know. The Rams bonused him out when he retired. Did that kill the old contract? No, it did not. He is still under contract and would be owed $30 million if he came back. Now, I do believe that Aaron and the Rams will agree to a restructuring of that contract, which can be done, that can bring that cap number down to something that is significantly more reasonable while still making this worth Aaron Donald's while from a financial perspective for everything he's going to have to put his body through. Remember, at the end of the day, obviously, a ring is incredible for a guy like Aaron, but he's already got one, and he's going to put his body back through this. He's going to need to start his NFL-level recovery processes and all the costs that come with doing that. He's going to want to make this worth his while from a financial perspective as well. He's not going to play for the veteran minimum. If you had any preconceived notions about that happening, I really do not believe that that will be the case, but I also don't believe he's going to play on a $30 million contract. So I say all of that to say, essentially, the Rams should have a way of getting Aaron Donald on the roster without using up all of their cap space that's left. But at the same time, the remaining pot is nowhere near what they'd need to take on Vita Vea. Remember, because he doesn't have any guaranteed money, you're taking on that full salary in a trade. So it'd be a $17 million cap hit. And the math ain't mathin' at the end of the day, guys. $10 million goes to Aaron Donald, even if it's $5 million. You got $7 million left. That's a lot less than 17. So something would have to give at this point, or this is a move you make if Aaron decides he isn't coming back. And I know we don't want to talk about that. I know that isn't like a reality we want to potentially face, but it is a chance. I don't like saying it as much as you guys don't like hearing it. I know, but we're not guaranteed the return of Aaron Donald. I believe, truly, in my heart of hearts, that he's coming back. I 100% do, but it's not guaranteed. No one has told us 100% Aaron is coming back. No one has said that up until this point. So if this doesn't happen, if Aaron goes through the next couple of weeks and says, you know what, guys, I tried, I gave it my 100%, but I cannot be the Aaron Donald that I expect myself to be, so I am not coming back. I think the Rams would say, okay, Aaron, no problem, man. You are still a franchise legend. No one's going to hold that against him. But that's when you go, okay, now Vita Vea feels like a realistic option. Now Vita Vea, or not even realistic, because I'm sure it's realistic. There's restructuring you could do to bring both of them in here at the end of the day if you want to get really messy with it. But again, that's kind of what I mean when I say get sticky. So I think if he doesn't come back, you can do this without having to make anything down the road complicated. No restructuring needed. You could make a trade, give up your 4th and your 7th in 2028, make it sweet for the Bucs because there are going to be some suitors here for Vita Vea that don't just include you. I expect the Giants to be involved in these trade discussions. I expect several teams to be ringing the phone. The Raiders are definitely going to be pounding the phones for Vita Vea as well. So you are going to be competing against other teams to get this deal done, and that might screw you at the end of the day because if they move faster and you're waiting on Aaron Donald, you may never have the option to make this trade to begin with. But if it does become an option, if Aaron says he's not coming back, I think you're sending this offer to Tampa Bay right away, hoping that nobody beats you to the punch on Vita Vea. But at the end of the day, just give me Aaron Donald, man, and I will be incredibly, incredibly happy. But let me know, Remley, where do we stand on trading for Vita Vea? What do we think? Give me a T in the comments if you want to see this trade happen. Give me a P in the comments if you don't want to see the Rams go after Vita Vea, and let me know why on either end of the spectrum. As always, we appreciate your time, Remley. Thanks for hanging out with us today, and I'm going to see you tomorrow.